That was, I like that. It's 4-Leaf Studios. I really like the intro. Yeah, we're back into this. Okay, we're back into, I don't know how to, I still don't know how to say it. You know what? I want to know how you say this, so we're gonna search it up, okay?
Katawa Shoujo.
Katawa Shoujo. Okay, so that's how you say it? Okay, how do you say it slow?
Katawa Shoujo.
Alright, okay, we get it now. So we back in this Katawa Shoujo, okay? We back in playing this. Click this, okay? I don't know why it doesn't just, it's not like, oh, you clicked it last time, so we're gonna give it to you again. Like, it's not like saved in the database. No, okay. We already did this part. I don't really know what happens to Haizu. Okay, he gives a letter to this one girl, and he's like so shy and all this, and like he's like, I don't want to give it to her. You know, I don't know like what really to say, and he's like, I waste all my time freaking doing this, and then he ends up having a heart attack or something. Like I'm not even joking, guys. He is so nervous. Okay, and I understand. Okay, I get shaky. I'm like this. Like this guy is strong. I'm just saying, but like he's like so nervous. He's like having a seizure. That's what's happening. I don't blame him. I don't blame him. It's scary. Okay. 4-Leaf Studio presents. Yeah, Katawa Shoujo. Okay. You gotta know how to pronounce it. It's like a trick. It's like one of those tricks, right, guys? Right? Okay. Got all these people. See, I'm not even gonna try reading it because last time it didn't let me read it, so I'm not gonna try. All right. See what's going on. We got bullet. No, that's not. I'm stupid. That's not a bullet. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. You know, the reason I sound so corny right now or silly is because I just woke up. Okay, you guys need to give me a break. Alright? That whole time, I could probably count the times I've left this hospital room unsupervised on one hand. 4 months is a pretty long time when you're left alone with your thoughts. So I've had plenty of time to come to terms with my situation. Simian. A strange word, a foreign, alien one that you don't want to be in the same room with. A rare condition causes the heart to act erratically and occasionally beat way too fast. It could be too fatal. Apparently I've had it for a long time. They said it was a miracle that I was able to go on so long without anything happening. That's, wow, you lucky. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that is a miracle, you know. My parents, I think, were hit harder by the news than I was. They practically had 2 hemorrhages apiece. Dang. I do feel bad. I mean, you had a heart attack. I already had a full day by then to digest everything. To them, it was all fresh. They were even willing to sell our house in order to pay off for a cure. Okay, that's very true. Okay, I think not just the emotional damage, but also the cost. You like, oh, you're gonna be fine, okay? Mama's with you, alright? And this dude's lucky because he got his mom, he's got his dad, maybe even his, like, soon girlfriend, maybe, you know? Who knows? But the thing, I'm pretty sure it's the guy, right? I'm pretty sure, okay? Maybe I'm getting all this wrong. But he's got all these people with him, okay? And they're like, it's gonna be alright. But it's not gonna be alright. Because even though you got everybody, it's gonna cost like $1 trillion. Of course there isn't a cure. Because of the late discovery of this condition, I've had to stay at the hospital to recuperate from the treatments. When I was first admitted, it felt as if I was missed. For about a week, my room in the ward was full of flowers, balloons, and cards. But the visitors soon dwindled, and all the get-well gifts began trickling down to nothing shortly after. That is true, okay? Like, think about people with cancer, okay? I don't know, you have leukemia or something, and that's horrible, okay? Luckily, I'm being serious, by the way. I'm not being, like, I'm a little bit joking, but luckily I haven't gotten terminally sick. But anyways, the point I'm trying to say here is that, you know, when you have those type of diseases, like, everyone is like, oh, you're gonna be fine, okay? I pray for you. But then it's like years that you have it. It's not really a few months. It's literally years for the rest of your life, or like probably a decade, okay? Same with comas, okay? People start showing up and they're like, oh, I hope this guy's fine, or whatever, and they like bring balloons or everything. But like, after a year, not even a year, they stop doing that. Like, they stop getting it. Maybe because they're like, I don't know, maybe they start to give up or something like that. But you're soon by yourself, because people won't be there unless you got parents who really love you and be like, I love you, baby, something like that, you know? For like the time I'm sick, I'd be fine, right? I realized that the only reason I have gotten so many cards and flowers was because sending me their sympathy had been turned into a class project. Maybe some people were genuinely concerned, but I doubt it. Even in the beginning, I really had visitors. By the end of the first month, only my parents came by on a regular basis. You don't even have your parents. I would understand if you being like, I'd rather just die at this point, because you're literally by yourself. But you have your mom and your uncle. Okay, I don't even know. Okay, I only have my mom and my dad. Iwanaka was the last to stop visiting. Was she the one that like was gonna get the card? I don't even know. I kind of forgot the name. Okay, after 6 weeks, I never saw her again. We never had that much to talk about when she visited anyway. We didn't touch the subject that was between us on that snowy day ever again. The hospital? It's not really a place I like to live in. The doctors and nurses feel so impersonal and faceless. I guess it's because they are in a hurry and they have a million other patients waiting for them, but it makes me feel uncomfortable. For the first month or so, I asked the head cardiologist every time I saw him for a rough estimate of when I would be able to leave. He never answered anything in a straightforward way, but told me to wait and see if the treatment and surgeries worked. So I idly observed the scar that those surgeries had left on my chest slowly change its appearance over time, thinking of it as some kind of omen. I still ask the head cardiologist about leaving, but my expectations are low enough that I'm not disappointed anymore when I don't get a reply. The way he shuffles around the answers shows that there is at least some hope. At some point, I'll stop watching TV. I don't know why. I just did. Maybe it was the wrong kind of escapism for my situation. I started reading instead. There was a small library at the hospital, although it was more like a storeroom for books. I began working my way through it, one small stack at a time. After consuming them, I would go back for more. I found that I liked reading, and I think I even became a little bit addicted. I started feeling naked without a book in my hands. But I loved the stories. I loved them, alright? That was what my life was like. The days became increasingly harder to distinguish from each other, differing only by the book I was reading and the weather outside. It felt like time blurred into some kind of gooey mess. I was trapped inside instead of moving within. A week could go by without me really noticing it. Sometimes I'd pause in realization that I didn't know what day of the week it was. Other times, all the things that surrounded me would painfully crash into my consciousness through the barrier of nonchalance I had set upon for myself. The pages of my book would start to feel sharp and burning hot, and the heaviness in my chest would become so hard to bear that I had to put the books aside and just lay down for a while, looking at the ceiling as if I was going to cry. Exactly, okay? Like, you get to a point where you don't even know what to do, okay? I'm guessing that's the point. Click mute. My bad. Today, the doctor comes in and gives me a little smile. He seems excited, but not very. It's like he is trying to make an effort to be happy on my behalf. My parents are here. It's been a few days since I've last seen them. Both of them are sort of dressed up. Is this supposed to be some kind of special occasion? It's not even a party. I don't know. There is this ritual the head cardiologist has. He takes his time sorting his papers, then setting them aside as if to make a point of the pointlessness of what he just did. Then he casually sits down on the edge of the bed next to mine. He looks me in the eyes for a moment. Hello, Shoujo, how are you doing? I didn't answer him, but I smiled a little bit back at him. Okay. I believe that you can go home. Your heart is stronger now. And with some precautions, you should be fine. We have all your medications sorted out. I'll give your father the prescription. Alright? Alright, bud? The doctor hands a sheet of paper to my dad, whose expression turns wooden as he reads it quickly. So many. I take it from his hand and take a look for myself, feeling numb. How am I supposed to react to this? Oh shoot. This is giving me chills, bro. This is The absurdly long list of medications staring back at me from the paper seems insurmountable. They all blend together in a sea of letters. Side effects, adverse effects, contraindications, and dosages are listed line after line with cold precision. Try to read them, but it's so futile, okay? I can't understand any of it. Attempting to only makes me sicker. Okay, all this for the rest of my life, every day? I'm afraid that is the best we can do at this point. However, new medications are always being developed, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that list fade away over the years. Alright, I'm sure it will get better. You can't be too sure nowadays, alright? Years. What kind of confidence booster is that? I'd have felt better if he hadn't said anything at all. Alright? Also, I've spoken with your parents about it, and we believe that it would be best if you don't return to your old school. What? Why can't we return to my old school, man? Please calm down, Shoujo. Listen to what the doctor has to say, alright? He's probably right about what he's saying. Calm down? The way he says it tells me that he knew full well that I wouldn't like it. Am I going to be homeschooled? Whatever my concern shows, it's ignored. We all understand that your education is of paramount. However, I don't think that it's wise for you to be without supervision. At least, not until we're sure that your medication is suitable. So, I've spoken to your parents about a transfer. It's a school called Yamuku Academia that specializes in dealing with disabled students. It has a 24-hour nursing staff, and it's only a few minutes from a highly regarded general hospital. The majority of students live on the campus. Think of it as a boarding school of sorts. It's designed to give students a degree of independence while keeping help nearby. Independence? It's a school for disabled kids. Don't try to disguise the fact. If it was really that free, there wouldn't be a 24-hour nursing staff, and you wouldn't make a hospital being nearby a selling point. Of course, that's only if you want to go, but your mother and I aren't really able to homeschool you. We went out there and had a look a couple of weeks back. I think you would like it. It looks like I really don't have a choice, alright? Compared to heart problems, people with your condition usually tend to live long lives. You'll need a job one day, and this is a good opportunity to continue your education. This isn't really an opportunity. Don't call it an opportunity. Don't call it a goddamn... Well, you should be excited at a chance to go back to school. I remember you wanted to return to school, and while it's not the same one, special school, that is, an insult, that is what I want to say. It's a step down. It's not what you think. Of the students, they are pretty active in their own sort of way. It's geared towards students that can still get around and learn, just need a little help, alright? In one way or another. Your father's right, and many of the graduates of the school have gone on to do amazing things. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disability. One of my colleagues in another hospital is a graduate. I don't care. I really don't care. I want to protest. I want to blame this lack of reaction on shock or fatigue. I could easily yell out something now. Something about it. How I could go back to school anyway, but no. I don't say anything. The fact is that I know now it's futile, alright? I look around the room, feeling very tired of all this. The hospital, doctors, my condition, everything. I don't see anything that would make me feel any different. There really isn't a choice. I know this, but the thought of going to a disabled school, what are those even like? As much as I tried to put a positive pin on this, it's very difficult. But let me try. A clean slate isn't a bad thing. That's all I can think of to get me through this. At least I still have something. Even if it's a special school, it's something. It's a fresh start. My life isn't over. It would be a mistake to just resign myself to thinking that. At the very least, I'll try to see what my new life will be like, or look like. Okay, I'm sorry, I slow the words a lot, okay?